The Yugoslav Wars. Complete analysis of the collapse and conflicts 1991 to 2001. 1. Background. Why it was possible. Yugoslavia was an artificially unified country. After World War II, it was built as a federation where each republic enjoyed autonomy, but key decisions were controlled by the center. Under Josip Broz Tito, there were three main mechanisms for holding the country together: strong power suppression of radical nationalism, balance of the republics, no one had absolute control, ideology, the idea of a single people. But after his death, all of this began to crumble. Economic crisis. By the 1980s, foreign debt grows, inflation spirals out of control, unemployment increases, republics begin to blame each other. Richer ones, Slovenia, Croatia, don't want to feed the rest. Poorer ones demand redistribution. 2. Rise of nationalism. In the late 1980s, a new type of politician emerges, those who build their careers on national themes. The key figure is Slobodan Milosevic. His policies: strengthening the role of Serbia, protecting Serbs outside Serbia, centralized state. This frightens the other republics. In response, Slovenia and Croatia began a course for independence. Tensions between ethnic groups grow. 3. 1991. The first crack, Slovenia. When Slovenia declares independence, a short war begins. Why it ended so quickly? Almost no Serb population. The region is not strategically key. The army did not receive a full order for escalation. Result? Yugoslavia loses its first republic almost without a serious war. 4. The war in Croatia. The beginning of the real conflict. The situation in Croatia was completely different. Hundreds of thousands of Serbs lived there. They feared discrimination, did not want to leave Yugoslavia. Armed conflict begins. Nature of the war. Front lines form around cities. Struggle for roads and communications. Artillery is actively used. Vukovar. Vukovar becomes a symbol of the war. Several months of siege. Destruction of almost all buildings. Mass casualties. Dubrovnik. Dubrovnik, the historic center of Europe, is shelled, causing international outrage. 5. 1992 to 1995. Bosnia. The most complex and brutal war. Bosnia and Herzegovina is the key focal point of the conflict. Reason: there is no dominant ethnic group. Ratio: Bosniaks, Muslims, Serbs, Croats. 3 sides, 3 goals. Bosniaks gives maintain a united country. Serbs gives join Serbia. Croats gives join Croatia. What makes the war especially brutal? No clear front line. Cities divided. Neighbors fighting each other. 6. The Siege of Sarajevo. Sarajevo is one of the longest sieges in modern history. Duration: almost 4 years. Living conditions: water is limited or non-existent. Electricity is unstable. Constant shelling. A characteristic feature is sniper streets. People run across the roads because snipers shoot at any moving targets. 7. Ethnic cleansing. One of the darkest aspects of war. Essence: expulsion of populations from territories. Mass killings. Camps. The goal is to create clean ethnic zones. 8. Failure of international intervention. The UN introduces peacekeepers, but they are prohibited from actively fighting. They are unable to stop the offensive. The most tragic example is the Srebrenica massacre. Thousands killed. The zone was considered safe. Peacekeepers were unable to prevent the tragedy. 9. Turning point. NATO intervention. After a series of tragedies, NATO intervenes. The 1995 airstrikes destroy key positions, disrupt the balance of power. This forces the parties to negotiate. 10. Dayton Accords. The Dayton Accords end the war, divide Bosnia into parts, create a complex political system. The country remains effectively united, but heavily fragmented. 11. Kosovo. The final stage. In the late 1990s, conflict breaks out in Kosovo. Causes. The Albanian majority demands independence. Serbia wants to maintain control. War begins. Guerrilla actions, retaliatory operations, mass exodus of civilians. In 1999, NATO begins bombing Yugoslavia. This forces Serbian forces to withdraw from the region. 12. Complete collapse. By the early 2000s, Yugoslavia disappears as a state. Independent countries emerge. Slobodan Milosevic later faces trial. 13. Consequences. Demographics. More than 100,000 dead. Millions of refugees. Economy. Destroyed cities. Decades of reconstruction. Politics. Complex borders. Unstable relations. Society. Generational trauma. Mistrust between peoples. 14. Main conclusion. The Yugoslav wars show how quickly a country can collapse when economic crisis, weak government, nationalism, fear and propaganda. 15. After the war, peace without reconciliation. The end of hostilities did not mean true peace. Formally, the shooting ceased, borders were drawn, and states were recognized. But within societies, the following remained: mutual accusations, memories of violence, different versions of the same history. In Bosnia and Herzegovina, after the Dayton Accords, the country was effectively divided into two parts: the Federation of Bosniaks and Croats, the Republika Srpska. Each had its own institutions, government, and political agenda. This created a paradox. The country exists, but it barely functions as a unified state. 16. The return of refugees and destroyed cities. After the war, millions of people tried to return home. But home often no longer existed. Buildings destroyed, neighborhoods resettled, infrastructure destroyed. The return was accompanied by conflicts. Former neighbors distrusted each other. Some neighborhoods became completely ethnically homogeneous. Integration efforts were slow. 17. International tribunals. After the wars ended, the process of identifying those responsible began. The International Criminal Tribunal for the former Yugoslavia was established. Among the accused, military commanders, politicians, participants in ethnic cleansing. Slobodan Milosevic became one of the main defendants. Trials lasted for years, were fraught with controversy, were perceived differently in different countries. For some, it was justice. For others, it was political pressure. 18. Kosovo after the war. After the conflict, international governance was established in Kosovo. The situation remains unstable. Ethnic clashes continue. Tensions persist between Serbs and Albanians. The region later declares independence, but it is not recognized by all countries. This makes Kosovo one of the most complex political hotspots in Europe, even decades later. 19. Serbia and change. After the fall of Slobodan Milosevic's regime, Serbia begins a political transformation. Key changes: transition to a more democratic system, attempts at European integration, reassessment of the events of the 1990s. But society remains divided. Some consider the war a tragedy. Others consider it a necessary defense. 20. Croatia and Slovenia. A different path. Slovenia and Croatia are recovering relatively quickly. They carrying out economic reforms, integrating into European structures, stabilizing the domestic situation. But even here, the memory of the war remains part of national identity. 21. Bosnia, a complex system. Bosnia and Herzegovina remains one of the most complex countries in Europe. Characteristics: 3 peoples, 3 political positions, complex system of governance, constant political crises. Peace has been preserved, but stability remains fragile. 22. Memory of war. In the countries of the former Yugoslavia, the memory of the wars of the 1990s still influences life. It manifests itself in monuments and memorials, school textbooks,